What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 recent returns that I got back in the mail. All these cards have something in common, and you'll figure that out after the first return. And that is a return from former Reds backup catcher Danny Breeden on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the common theme today is they're all multiplayer cards that I've had in my collection. So all the guys that I'm going to show you today are multiplayer cards. So we'll talk about Danny Breeden a little bit in his career, and we'll also see if maybe Bernie Carbo will sign one of these for me in the near future as well. So let's talk about Danny Breeden. Breeden was born in Albany, Georgia, where he attended and graduated from Albany High School. He attended Troy State University before being signed by the St. Louis Cardinals in 1963 as a free agent. Even before making the majors, Breeden had been part of several player transactions. In December of 1963, he was drafted by the Cubs in the first-year draft, but following, he was purchased back by the Cardinals. In December of 1968, he was part of a multiplayer trade to the Padres, and in June of 1969, he was then purchased by the Reds. Less than a month after being purchased by the Reds, he made his big league debut at the age of 27 on July 24, 1969 against Gary Gentry in the New York Mets at Shea Stadium. Breeden, starting at catcher, notched his first career hit in his first at-bat with a second inning single, going 1 for 4 in the game. The Reds defeated the Mets that game in 12 innings. The one single would be his only big league hit that season. He played only that series against the Mets as he was filling in for Johnny Bench, who was not available. The next year, in 1970, Breeden spent the entire 1970 season in the Reds minor league system before they traded him to the Chicago Cubs. In 1971, Breeden played in 25 games for the Cubs, including catching the second of Ken Holtzman's 2 no-hitters on June 3, 1971. At, ironically, a win over the Reds in Riverfront Stadium. The 1971 season was also his brother Hal's rookie season with the Cubs, and they played on the same field together for 5 games. Danny batted 154 and 65 at-bats that season, hitting no home runs and driving in 4. 1971 was the end of Danny Breeden's career in the majors. After the 71 season, Breeden played in the minor league for 2 more seasons with the Cubs, the Giants, and the Padres. He was sent from the Padres to the Cardinals to complete a 3-team deal in 1974. So in his career, Breeden appeared in just 28 games as a catcher, the majority of them with the Cubs. He had a lifetime batting average of just 151 in 73 at-bats. So I'm hoping that eventually I can get Bernie Carbo to sign 1 or 2 of these for me. So we'll move on to the next return. Thank you very much, Mr. Breeden, for signing those for me. Alright, so this next one is a return from a card you have seen on this channel before. And it is a return from former Houston Colt 45 / Astro Dan or Danny Coombs on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you do recall, I did do an episode on Jack McClure. I will link that down at the bottom and also up here in the corner. That's the other guy that signed this card. I also talked about in that video how I have never seen Gene Ratliff sign an autograph. So if anybody has a lead to get Gene Ratliff to finish this off for me, definitely let me know, because I'd be very interested in trying to finish off this triple card with those 3 autographs. So let me tell you about Danny Coombs and his career in baseball. Standing at 6'5", Coombs was quite the imposing person on the mound. He also attended Seton Hall University, and while he was at Seton Hall, he didn't just play baseball, but he also played basketball. He signed as an amateur free agent in the 1963 season with the Houston Colt 45s. Coombs spent very little time in the minor leagues and actually made his major league debut the year that he signed. On September 27, 1963, against the New York Mets, Coombs pitched 1 1/3 of an inning, allowing 3 hits and 1 earned run. In 7 games in 1964, Coombs struck out 14 batters in 18 innings, posting a 5 ERA. He won the first game of his career that year, and the final game he pitched that season, earning a win on October 2nd. The following year, splitting time between the minors and the majors, Coombs appeared in 26 games in 1965, allowing 54 hits, 25 earned runs, and 47 innings. In 1966, Coombs appeared in just 2 games in the majors, striking out 3 in 2 1/3 innings. He posted a 3.38 ERA that year. 67 was also a short season for him, as he only appeared in 6 games, going 3-0 with a 3.3 ERA, spending most of the time in the minors. In 1968, Coombs appeared in 40 games, going 4-3 with a 3.28 ERA in the majors. Coombs then appeared in just 8 games in 1969, posting a 6.75 ERA in just 8 innings. On October 22nd of 1969, he was purchased by the Padres. Going into 1970 with the Padres, it was the only season where Coombs was used almost entirely as a starter. He appeared in 35 games, starting 27 of them, and he went 10-14 with a 3.30 ERA and 105 strikeouts in 183rd innings. His 3.30 ERA was the best on the team among all pitchers, with at least 5 appearances that year. Coombs didn't have a successful season the following year with the Padres, and in his final season in 1971, he appeared in 19 games, 6 as a starter, posting a 1-6 record with a 6.24 ERA. His final game with the Padres was on July 23rd, 1971. Coombs would hang on a little bit longer with the Padres through the 71 season and into 1972, where he would appear in just 10 games for them in their Double-A affiliate before he retired as a player. Overall, Coombs played 9 seasons in the majors. Of the 144 games he pitched in, he started 42 of them, completing 5 of his starts, shutting out 1 game and saving 2 games. He posted an overall 19 wins and 27 record in 393 innings of work. After leaving professional baseball, Coombs continued in baseball by passing on his knowledge at the high school level. He was a varsity baseball coach along with a head coach for a high school team outside of Houston, Texas. He continued coaching throughout the 1980s at a high school also located in the Houston area. So, very cool that after his playing career, Danny, or Dan, whichever you want to call him, would actually continue to coach in the Houston area at the high school level. So again, very happy to complete this to the best of my abilities, 2/3 of the way. Again, if anybody knows Gene Ratliff, definitely let me know, because I'd love for him to sign this card as well. Moving on to the next return. Alright, so this next return, I'm actually happy to say I completed a card. And the first one I'll show you is actually a manager's card of Don Baylor and Gene Lamont. But I actually have 2 1971 rookie Tigers card stars here, completed by Lerrin, LaGrow and Gene Lamont. And I wrote Lerrin, LaGrow a long time ago. Or I'm sorry, LaGrow, not LaGrow. I wrote Lerrin, LaGrow a long time ago and featured him on my channel. And I've been looking at these cards for so long, and I'm like, I'm just going to finally send them to Gene and have him sign it. I actually included an unsigned one as well, and Gene did not sign that, so I don't know if maybe he overlooked it, or maybe he thought, hey, 3's enough, so I don't know. But I have a completely blank version of the card as well that he did not sign, but let me tell you about Gene Lamont and his career in baseball. Lamont grew up in Illinois, and he actually attended Western Illinois University. He was selected by the Detroit Tigers in the first round as the 13th pick of the 1965 amateur draft. At 18 years old, Lamont would be assigned to the A-ball affiliate of the Detroit Tigers. He would catch for them from 1965 to 1968 until finally moving up in 1969 to Double-A, where he caught 110 games and posted a .242 batting average. In 1970, he would move up to Triple-A and would appear in 74 games for the club in their Triple-A affiliate before he got called up to the major leagues to make his major league debut on a September call-up on September 2nd, 1970. In his debut game, he would have 3 at-bats, collect 2 hits, 1 including a home run in his first game in the major leagues. Lamont would finish the year catching in just 15 games for the club, posting a .295 batting average. He would spend the next year in 1971, the bulk of the season in their AAA affiliate, however, would get a 7-game call-up in 1971. 1972 would be more of the same, appearing in 119 games in their AA affiliate, appearing in just 1 game in 1972. In 1973, he would actually be traded to the Atlanta Braves. However, he would not appear in a game in the Braves organization in the major leagues and would spend the entire year in their AAA affiliate as their catcher. However, in the offseason, the Tigers reacquired him from the Braves, and he would be assigned to their major league club in 1974 and spend 60 games in the major leagues for the club. In 1975, he would spend the bulk of the season in the minor leagues, appearing in 49 games in their AAA affiliate and appearing in 4. In 1976, he would appear in just 96 games for their affiliate, but by 1977, he would appear in just a handful of games for the Tigers because he would be offered a position coaching for the Kansas City Royals single A affiliate in Fort Myers that year. He would spend a couple years in Fort Myers and then would move up to the AA affiliate where he would win a championship in 1982 and 83 and actually be named the Southern League Manager of the Year. After spending some time in the Royals AAA affiliate, Jim Leyland brought him on as the 1986 Pirates team, and Lamont stuck with the Pirates as a coach under Jim Leyland for the majority of his coaching career from 1986 to 1991. Lamont then decided to leave the Pirates and become the full-time manager of the Chicago White Sox when there was a vacancy. In just his second year with the White Sox, Lamont helped lead the Chicago White Sox to a great record of 94-68, and actually wound up losing to the eventual champion Toronto Blue Jays, but he would win the Manager of the Year award that year with the White Sox. Coming into the 1994 season, the season was cut short due to the strike, and after returning in 1995, he got off to a slow start with the White Sox, and they fired him after posting just an 11-20 record in that 1995 season. Well, he didn't stay unemployed long, as he would then return to the Pittsburgh Pirates on their coaching staff, and he would spend 1 season on their coaching staff and then would be named the Pittsburgh Pirates manager after Jim Leyland decided to resign from the position. From 1997 to 2000, Lamont was the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. After the 2000 season, the team lost 93 games and Lamont was fired and replaced by Lloyd McClendon. Overall in his career as a manager, he had a 553 wins versus 562, just below 500, despite many of those bad seasons in Pittsburgh. His all-time record in Chicago, however, was 258 and 210. Lamont returned to coaching with the Red Sox and the Astros from 2006 to 2017, and as well as with the Tigers. On January 17, 2018, Lamont was hired by the Kansas City Royals to be a special assistant to the general manager. I don't think Gene is still in that capacity. I believe he is retired in Florida now. As a matter of fact, I ran into his son, Wade Lamont, who actually played briefly in the minor leagues as well. And his son Wade actually went back after his playing career and got a strength and conditioning degree or something along those lines, a athletic trainer type of designation. I don't remember which. But Wade Lamont, his son, actually took the route of physical training or athletic trainer or strength coach as his second career after playing in the minor leagues for a couple seasons. So very, very happy to profile Gene Lamont and get this manager on to finish this card. Believe it or not, I actually have this card, not the gold version, signed by Don Baylor. I was able to get Don Baylor to sign it many, many years ago, but I was just so hesitant to send that in the mail with Don Baylor's autograph on it because he's passed away, and I don't want to lose it through the mail or something like that. So if I ever do see Gene Lamont in person, I will ask him to sign the other half of the Don Baylor card that I already have. But very happy to at least get these signed back, get these rookie cards of his, signed and finished. I also want to thank Danny Coombs for signing his cards, especially the ones that he already had Jack McClure on and finishing those off for me. I also want to thank Danny Breeden for signing 3 of his rookie cards for me. Like I said, I'm hoping that I can get Bernie Carbo to sign at least one of those for me. I haven't had a lot of luck with getting Mr. Carbo. The last time I wrote Mr. Carbo, I got my card sent back to me unsigned. I don't know if Mr. Carbo did that on purpose or if it was just an oversight on his end. But I thought I'd send one of these in the mail, try again and see if we get lucky, and do a video on Bernie Carbo, hopefully in the near future. Look forward to your comments below. Hope you enjoyed me completing a double card and trying to get a little bit closer to completing a few more of these multitask cards. Look forward to your comments below, and as always, happy collecting.